Okay, peeps. So, I lied in the last introduction. That was not the last video in the Knitted Knockers series. Unbeknownst to me, YouTube only allows me to upload videos that are 15 minutes in length or less until I get 100,000 followers. That might be a while. Anyway, the last video series was slightly longer than the 15 minutes, so this is actually the last video in the series. And so in this video, I'll be showing you how to finish off your knockers. Stay tuned. All right, peeps, so here I am. I have finished the decreasing almost on the top of the knocker. So you can see we have the bottom with the increasing, the 2 purl rounds, and now here I have the top of the knocker, and you can see where these lovely lines where I've done a single decrease at the end of each section. So you can see now I'm almost finished with the decreasing. I thought I'd save a couple of rounds just so you can kind of see how this works. But anyway, here's section 1, 2, and 3 is on the back needle. You can see I have 4 stitches left, so I have a couple more rounds to do in order to finish this decreasing, because I need to have 2 stitches in each section. So here we go. So I'm going to, again, just continue as we were before, and as I've done all along, knit to the last 2 stitches of each section. Here I am at the last 2 in section 1, and knit those 2 stitches together, slip the marker, knit to the end of section 2, knit those 2 together, perform our little magic loop adjustment, slide that needle tip back in, set up again, and knit to the end of the last section, section 3, 2 stitches before the end, and knit those last 2 together. All right, so that was 1 complete round. We have 1 more round to go. Now you'll notice we did a decrease at the end of each section. And now as I adjust my magic loop, you'll see we have 3 stitches left in each section. 1, 2, 3. And so now we're going to do 1 more round of that. Knit 1 stitch, knit the last 2 together, slip the marker, section 2, knit 1, knit 2 together, and section 3, knit 1 stitch, knit 2 together. So now I'm going to turn this around one more time. And now we are finished with the decreasing, because you will see, whoops, I just pulled my needle out of those last 2 stitches. Never mind, don't panic, just put them back on. There we are. Okay, so now you can see that we've got 2 stitches in each section. 2 on section 1. Sorry, I got this a little twisted around, but it's not a big deal because we're going to be taking this off anyway. So how did I get that jumbled? Let's look at it. Oh, I see. Yes. Okay. Never mind. Let me go ahead and readjust this so that we're gonna move this back here. I pulled it's actually good for you guys to see. I pulled my needle out and in the process pulled those stitches out, and so I'm just turning it back around so I can reknit those last 2 stitches because they came out. And so we will just fix that right now. Here we are now. Okay, pretend that didn't happen. Here we are, and we are ready now with 2 stitches in each section. We're ready to finish this thing off. So here's what we do. We're gonna leave a little bit of a tail here so we can have enough to weave in. It doesn't have to be super long, maybe 8 inches or so. And we just cut that off. And so here we have this little tail, and we are going to thread up a nice blunt tapestry needle, just like so. And we are just going to start going around and picking these stitches off onto our thread with the tapestry needle. We can dump off that marker and just keep going around. You'll finish the first side, and I kind of pull that thread through, and then I slide my needle down to the other end so I can just keep picking these off in the same direction I was going. So we're going to pick that off and pick the last one off, and we just simply cinch it up at the top of the knocker. Oh, it looks like I dropped a stitch there. Sorry, you guys, this one didn't go too well, but I'm just gonna pick that up. Pretend that didn't happen, because that normally would not happen. But no big deal, I just picked that up. That won't happen for you. It probably happened when I had my little faux pas there. But anyway, and so then what I do is I take this thread and I just kind of go back around the top again, just to kind of cinch everything down nice and good. Needle fell out there. And then what we do is you kind of stick your finger down in the bottom hole on the underside there, and I just thread this, stick this needle right back down into the top of the knocker. And then on the inside, you just sort of make room within that hole and just weave that down and back a couple of times. You don't have to knot this off. Just weave it across a few times just to seal it off, like so. And then I just simply cut that off. You don't have to cut it off too closely. Leave a little bit of room. It's going to be stuffed, and so it's not like that end is going to show or anything. But anyway, there is a completed knocker. And you can see that we have an opening in the bottom, which is where we are going to stuff it. And then we stuff them fairly full. Like you almost overstuff them. Excuse me, one sec. I have my example, but it's not very handy. Okay, so here's the example. This one I did not overstuff, but in talking with people that actually wear them, it's good to make them so that people can adjust them to whatever fullness they want. Oh, and one person actually said that after the surgery, the chest is actually a little bit caved in, and so to have a little bit extra stuffed knockers to wear actually helps fill in that gap. And I thought that was good advice. So better to overstuff than understuff, and we can actually also include some extra stuffing in the bags that we choose to send these off with. So the people, if they want to add a little more, they can always take out. And so we have this little hole. And what I've done is we run a little running thread around that hole. And so that's why we've left quite a bit here. So we can run that around. And then after it's stuffed, they can either take out some or add some more. And then they can just cinch that up. It's like a little gathering thread. And then they can undo it and put in more over time if the stuffing, or replace the stuffing if it gets worn out. So many options there. So anyway, to do that, let me just undo this little knot here. And once again, we will take our darning needle, thread that up. And then what I do is we just start going around in and out about every other stitch. So you'll skip a stitch and go in, and it doesn't have to be exact. So skip a stitch and come out, and then pull that up a little bit. And that is just gonna run a little gathering thread. It goes in and then comes back out, and then in and then comes back out. So that gives the wearer the option of gathering that up, just like so. We'll go in and back out. And there we are. And that should actually do us. No, I think we have a little bit further to go. And we'll go in and back out right about there. And that is it. And then we would just stuff it and make another one just like it, package it up and send it off. And that's it, peeps.